Dave, first, just this is pretty much back-to-back series against the Padres, and you have just seen a team so recently. How do you kind of continue the momentum that you had in San Diego?
I think, it's just Dustin threw well against those guys last time. He's going to set the tone. Coming off an off day, I think we feel good as far as, where guys are at, as far as their physical, where they're at physically. The bullpen is reset. I think the crowd, the fans, they're going to bring the energy. We just got to go out there and focus on playing good baseball.
JD Martinez is back. Is there anything that you're hoping to see from him, whether tonight or just kind of in this stint back?
No, I think that just getting him back lengthens the lineup, having him in the middle of the order, and I think for us it's just go out there and be himself. Snell's got good stuff. He's going to nibble, and you got to kind of swing at strikes, take balls. So don't expect Jason or JD to do anything different.
Dave, this is only the 9th time that JD, Muncy, and Smith have been in the lineup together this season. Do you feel like we haven't seen the best of this offense because of the lack of continuity?
I think there might be something to that. Obviously, you want your best players in there. It's baseball. It's a long season. It happens quite often with every club. But it is, optically, the way when I write the lineup out, it does look right. It does look good. It looks long and deep. So now we just got to go out there and perform.
Syndergaard was throwing again today, I assume, with the right index finger covered. What do you know about him and whether or not he'll be able to make his next start?
I'm hopeful. Just watching him play catch today, he was ripping it, and it was covered up. So tomorrow is going to be a really big day for him in the sense that he's going to throw a bullpen, and if he can get out of that, I don't see why he wouldn't make a start on Monday.
You've been through this before with Rich Hill and the uncertainty of whether or not the blister is going to break open. Having that experience and the training staff's experience with that, what can you do this time around to maybe give yourself more certainty so you don't put your bullpen in a bad spot?
Yeah, I think I think it's just more of we thought we were out of the woods as far as where the cut was on the finger. Clearly we weren't, so I think that we're going to make sure that it's covered up for the bullpen tomorrow, and then again, if he does make that start, it'll be covered up. But if it's covered up, he's pitched with it for a few starts, so I feel confident that he can give us whatever he needs to give us in that particular day.
When you say covered up, does that mean covered up in a way that you would cover it up for a game or with tape?
Yeah, same. I think the thing that they're using is a thing called Dermabond, so that's what we would use in a game as well.
How much is it hampering him performance-wise?
That's more of a question for Noah. He hasn't alluded to that. But yeah, I mean, logically, if you don't have anything, you get the feel with your skin versus something else. It probably changes the feel of it. I don't know how much it's affecting his breaking ball, fastball command, or the changeup, but I think for me it's just trusting the player. If we can keep it protected, that he'll be able to execute.
Are you surprised that it's progressed to where he could make the next start? 'Cause at least like the broadcast view looked like it was a pretty serious. His finger was like.
Yeah, I am. He wanted to keep going, but every ball that he was throwing was marked with blood. So we tried to rectify it, but it was just too late. And so I think today, tomorrow, potentially Monday, we should be fine.
If that doesn't happen, do you kind of have Stone on reserve? I think he was kind of lined up the same way.
I think that's probably a fair take, given they're throwing on the same days, but I think the priority is to have Noah make that start.
Is this more challenging because of the way the umpires check pitchers now compared to 2016 as far as pitching with the blister?
No, it's not, because I think that I applaud the umpires in the sense of having some feel that this is something to protect the player and not use as an enhancement for pitching. So I don't think there's a pitcher that's going to choose to have Dermabond on their finger to pitch. So it's just notifying the umpires beforehand, and they accommodate.
JD said he basically was hitting for just 3 days down there in Arizona. Is he the kind of veteran player who you trust to say that he's ready to go, or did you want him to reach a certain number of plate appearances there?
I think you've got to give the nod to the player. It was 3 days of hitting, but I think he took, over a dozen at bats, and so just having him in the lineup, I think, is a presence, and we're better with him in the lineup than not.
If he's full go, or do you have to manage the bag at all?
I think he's full go, but as I say that, we're starting 13 in a row, and so I could see us managing him a little bit. What that means, if it does come to that, I don't know yet. I'll just keep checking on him each day.
Is the open sitting just more a byproduct of Snell on the mound?
Yeah, I just felt this is a good day for James to watch the first 5-6 innings of a ball game, and if you have to go to him, great. If not, then we'll throw somebody else at Snell.
Are you? Is there any concern with the strikeouts? It seems like he's been striking out a lot more the last couple of weeks. Is that just kind of part of the young player adjusting to the big leagues, or is there something else there that you guys are kind of keying with him?
No, I wouldn't say concerning. I think what's getting him most is the fastball at the top of the zone. But his track record is that he handles that pitch. I think for me, I think he'll recalibrate. He'll be able to get on the fastball a little more. I think for me, his ability to check off on the balls down below, I think he's still doing a good job of that.
Are you getting a better gauge of how he's being pitched now? That some of these opponents kind of have a better idea of where to attack him?
Not really. I think that these guys are trying to crowd him a little bit more. Some teams are trying to spin him. Some teams are trying to get him at the top. So I don't think that there's a book. I think each team is still trying to figure him out.
Has CT turned a corner in recent weeks? Has there been anything that you've seen process-wise that he's doing better, or is he just getting better results here?
I think he's just more on time. He's getting to the fastball a lot better. He's hitting the ball more square. He's striking out less. He's taking some walks. This is where we expected him to be. And so I think for me, people can say mechanics. I think he's getting on time. He's on time to hit the fastball.
Is that like a mentality change a little bit?
I think early on it was a conscious effort to be a little bit more early. Hitters sometimes feel that they're on time, but they're really not. So I think that CT's bought into that, and the results have been considerably better.
Michael Busch had a pretty big hit against these guys on Sunday. What was sort of the message to him as far as what to work on going back to AAA?
Michael had a good showing. He's going to play some third base, some second base, first base. Really proud of the way he handled that big spot. And every young player wants to play, but the message was he took full advantage of watching Major League players and how the game's supposed to be played, the intensity, the focus, and I expect him to take that with him and join us again at some other point in the season.
Dave, is Jimmy Nelson throwing?
I don't think he is. He was throwing up until about 10 days ago, and I think we shut him down. And I think we got to restart that rehab at some point.
Was it something he felt, or was it just, what was the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, it was something he felt. I don't know specifically, Eric, but it was something that caused us to shut him down for a bit.
You haven't asked about Daniel Hudson in a while. What's the latest with his rehab?
Still got some scar tissue issues on that left knee. I think he's still throwing. Our hope is that we get him out here just to be with his teammates. But as far as kind of time to return, we're still down the road. I don't know what that means, though.
How much longer is this sort of carried on than you had originally anticipated, especially when he had surgery last year?
Yeah, we expect him to be ready for the season. So he's frustrated, but we can still bet that he's doing everything he can to be ready, and right now the knee's just not cooperating.
Walker Buehler still moving forward.
Walker, he's going to be in town Monday. rehab really good. Stretching it out. I don't think he's been off the mound yet, but he has been off the mound actually. So we'll know more when we get here. But he's progressing every day. He's gotten better.